Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Mr. Sunshine Boy. Day 73 of Daddy in Dubai, and it's Wednesday. And I would say it started off with a big win because I watched the sunrise. I woke up, and then I spoke to you, mate. I spoke to my sunshine this morning, didn't I? And it was the best start to my day, even though being 3 hours ahead, my day had started already, and it was amazing. And then we got a chance to speak, and I know when you left the house and you were in the car and mummy answered the phone, bless you, you were in tears because you saw a dead bird, right? And hopefully you got a chance to say a prayer for the bird. And then we agreed, didn't we, that you would sing Three Little Birds, which just happens to be the first song that I ever did on karaoke. Getting to 50 years old and doing a karaoke for the first time, that's saying something. So I hope you and your mum put that on and had a little sing a song with me singing because that would have been special. And I guess that's the world we live in now is so amazing that you can literally be with somebody without being there. And I guess that's the beauty of this channel, doing this message. I often say to people that the greatest part of my 24 hours is leaving a message for you, sunshine. So look, in the last 24 hours, it's been quite mind-blowing. I'm not going to lie. Um, what happened last night, I wasn't expecting to happen. And what it did, a friend of mine from 22 years ago, I connected with him regarding a business that I'm in. And the gentleman asked me if I knew anybody in gaming. And it just happens that my friend from Canada, I won't mention his name because he might not want to be named, but this gentleman, what he shared with me last night was quite remarkable. And as he said it, I saw where it could connect with what I'm doing, which then led to another conversation and then another conversation. And before you know it, there were three things that we were talking about, and it was pretty epic. So I did that, and I had calls with lots of people today. But at 5 o'clock, I got to meet a gentleman by the name of Joseph. Now, Joseph is somebody I met at the Capital Wealth Summit. And at that event, and following on from that event, and the following on from that event, and the following on from that event, all of those four events added so much value, added so many connections. And these are people whose numbers I've got and I've connected with them. Majority of them I've met up with. And it was beautiful. Then the guy at 5 o'clock, as the storytelling hairdresser, that's your daddy. I was lost for words. Now I'm not going to say much more until the stuff materializes, but let's just say, wow. Then after that, went to an event. Um, I was blessed with dinner, courtesy of Joseph. And look, at some point, sunshine, you will end up meeting Joseph because He's a matchmaker and he has loads of businesses and funding and lots of ideas, and that's going to be great. Now, also, after that, I went to an event called, I've forgotten the name of yeah, I've forgotten. But look, one thing I can say is I'm tired. I'm going to stop right now because I'm falling asleep. But listen, if you are not my son, like, subscribe, leave a comment. I will add some of what happened last night at the event, Malik's event, Grit and Growl is what it's called, networking on another level. And look, I met some of the more interesting people tonight. Wow. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. It was really, really good. So thank you, Andrea, for showing up, bringing your friend. Thank you, Motaz, the artist. He came along with me. We turned up in a yellow car, people. We turned up in a yellow car. Went in, he was dressed to impress. And there were many more people. Sagira, saw you tonight. Big up the lady from India that I met at the end. Um, you know who you are. If you're watching the channel, you'll understand who I'm talking about. Who else did I meet today? There was another remarkable man by the name of Marcus, but you'll find more about him as the story develops. We don't know whether he's legit, whether he's the real deal, whether he's telling me the truth. So I will filter that conversation and part tomorrow's day 74. I will add more bits to that conversation. So, Sunshine, love you to the moon and back. This is your dad hashtag Daddy in Dubai, day 74. Let's go. Wednesday, all day, hashtag keep winning and winning and winning.